Hi guys, so today I am going to be talking about the most important things to keep in mind when you are trying to learn Icelandic. If you did not know, hi, my name is Hrafna and I frequently teach Icelandic on this channel, talking about Iceland and teaching you guys about Icelandic culture and the Icelandic language is one of my favorite things to do, so here I am. This video has been highly requested and I know there are so many of you out there that are trying to learn Icelandic and are struggling. So in this video I am going to share with you guys some of my biggest tips and tricks in learning Icelandic, but I feel like some of these can be applied to other languages. Hopefully you guys can learn something. However, before we start this video out, I do want to mention that we have a sponsor for today's video, and that is once again Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning platform. They have so many amazing courses and they are not just about languages. You can learn about anything, music, photography, traveling, like anything. What I checked out on Skillshare before this video was the language courses that they have. The course that I am currently in right now that I was using to prepare for this video is called Learning New Languages as an Adult, just to put myself in your shoes, and I learned so many new things in that course, so I definitely recommend that course. I do know that there are so many courses on Spanish and German and French. Hopefully I can finally start picking up Spanish again with Skillshare, but yeah, we'll see. If you are interested in Skillshare, I will leave their links down below. Also, you can get 2 months free of Skillshare Premium by clicking on the link down below in the description. Why not? Learn something new, have fun, and you know, it's free, so click it. So thank you so much to Skillshare, and I hope you guys can use Skillshare and learn something. Anyways, so let's get down to business. I obviously made a list on my phone because I am obsessed with lists. If you don't know that by now, then you don't watch enough of my videos. Alright, so the first thing that I have is the rolling Icelandic R. The extremely harsh and Icelandic R is not only in Icelandic, I know for a fact it is also in Spanish. So let me give you an example of the very harsh R and how to say it. Let's take the name Maria. In Icelandic you would say it as Maria. Maria. You roll your tongue to say the harsh R. I don't have a scientific explanation for how you actually roll your tongue. It is something that I have been doing my whole life. First of all, there are so many videos on how to roll your tongue when you're pronouncing R, or just how to roll your tongue in general. I get so many messages from people being like, how do you do that? Like, how do you roll your tongue? And for me, it's just like second nature. And I know for especially people who talk English as their first language, rolling their R can be very tricky. So what I would recommend is, number one, checking out a very detailed video on how everything works when you are rolling your R. And the short version is I put my tongue at the top of my mouth and create a vibrating sound. I do have some exercises for you guys to train your mouth or train your tongue. Basically, just pick a word that has an R in it. For an example, car. Now try to say car with the rolling R. First of all, if you can do a R sound, just R, then you basically can roll your tongue. Once you have mastered that, you can change car into car. Car, car, car. You could basically do any word that has an R in it, whether if it's in the middle, in the front, or in the back. Let's go with the word train. When you roll your tongue, it's train, 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 train. This is very Spanish. This is something that people who speak Spanish do a lot. People are always very surprised when I can pronounce something in Spanish very well. It's basically just me rolling my tongue whenever I can. That's basically my first tip. Find words that have R's in it. Don't have to start with Icelandic words and try to master the pronunciation of an Icelandic word, a word that you're not familiar with. Just take a very basic word in English that you do know and that you can pronounce correctly, and just try to apply the rolling R to that. And then after that you can, you know, take some Icelandic words and try to pronounce them with the R's. And if you do need any words or sentences, I do have some videos on teaching Icelandic on my channel. Just go look for that. So the next tip is something that I have actually done a video on, but that is to know the Icelandic alphabet, or at least know the Icelandic letters such as eth, thot, y, ow, you know, letters in the Icelandic alphabet that are not in your own alphabet. Just study them, know how to pronounce them correctly. I do have a whole video on that. I think it's called Teaching You Icelandic Part 1, so go check that out, and then return to this video. By knowing the letters, that's going to help you a lot with pronunciation. So for an example, the letter thot is a very hard letter for people who are not used to the sound, like the kind of silent also in Spanish. And this is when your tongue goes to the front of your mouth, creating a sound. Master the Icelandic letters that you're not familiar with, so you can actually continue on with trying to pronounce words. So the next tip is to listen to Icelandic songs. First of all, I do put Icelandic songs in my story on Instagram frequently. If there is a new song that I really like, I will most likely put it on my story. What I recommend is to listen to songs that are a bit slower. Don't be listening to like Icelandic rap, because then you're not going to understand anything. I recommend choosing artists that are singing a bit slower and have a very open and clear voice, so you can really understand what they're saying, or at least you can hear the words as they are singing them. What I wrote down was to listen to Bubbi Morthens. He is a very well-known singer here in Iceland, and I feel like his voice is very clear when he sings. I will obviously have a list of artists here. I would show you the songs, but I don't want to get demonetized. Also, this is something that I did when I was in high school and when I was studying Spanish. We would listen to songs in Spanish, and then the teacher would print out the lyric, and then you would look at the lyrics and listen to the song again. What you can do to find the Icelandic lyrics is to just type in the name of the song, or the name of the song and the artist, and put the word texti behind. Then you will get the lyrics of the song. Just print it out or have it on the computer or on your phone in front of you, and try to follow the lines, and then you can hear the words as they're being spoken. You can obviously use Google Translate and translate the words, so you can get kind of get what they're saying. And you can always stop the song and put a circle over a word that you know, or you can just play around with it and do what fits you best. And also, if you're comfortable, you can obviously just start singing along with your lyrics in front of you. Like, I would never do that because I can't sing, but if you can, then I would recommend it. It's probably going to help you a lot with pronunciation. I'm also thinking about making a story highlight for my Instagram that is just called songs, where I can put all of my favorite Icelandic songs on there. If you guys want that, then let me know on Instagram. The next tip is very similar, but instead of listening to songs, you are watching movies, Icelandic movies. I do know that it is very difficult to get your hands on Icelandic movies with English subtitles, so I really hope that you can find these, because it's very accessible to me. So the movies on my list are Reykjavík Rotterdam, Vona fyrir stríð or Women at War, Heartstone or Hjartasteinn, A White Day, Hvítur dagur, Let Me Fall, Lof mér að falla, The Swan, Svanurinn, I Remember You, Ég man þig, that's a horror movie that I have not seen, and Mamma Go-Go. These are just some, just classic Icelandic movies. You can also write Icelandic movies into Google and you can find, a lot of movies. My favorite on this list is probably Reykjavík Rotterdam. So the next tip is kind of the same thing, but it is to watch Icelandic TV shows. I feel like they are a lot more accessible. I did a lot of research to try to find out how hard it is for you guys to watch Icelandic TV shows with English subtitles, and this is what I came up with. The number one TV show that I would probably recommend and is the most accessible is Ófærð, or Trapped in English. It is available on Amazon Prime. I think that they might be available on Netflix, I'm not sure, but I have so many DMs from people saying that they have watched Ófærð or Trapped and loved it. And again, you can just Google Icelandic TV shows and then you can find a list that will pop up on Google. Now, the next recommended show that I have is Lazy Town, which is Latibær in Icelandic. And if you didn't know, Lazy Town is actually Icelandic. Just watching Icelandic children TV shows or movies is a great idea because their vocabulary is not as complicated. They usually talk a bit slower. Something similar to that is to listen to children's songs in Icelandic because they're very simple and slow. If you type in Íslensk barnalög, then you can find so many songs on YouTube. Again, I feel like you're going to learn a lot more by watching something for children because the vocabulary isn't as difficult and people usually tend to talk a little bit slower in, you know, children's movies and TV shows and songs and stuff. So I really hope this video was helpful. There wasn't really, you know, something groundbreaking in this video, but I did do a lot of research for this and I really hope that I helped someone. Once again, thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. It means a lot to me that they wanted to work with me again because I generally really love them and their courses. Don't forget to check them out in the description below. I will have everything down below that you need to know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Takk fyrir að horfa, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.